Hello viewers, I am Dr. Hariprakash Chakravarthy. I am a spine surgeon who has been treating patients with spine related problems for over 20 years. Today is a World Spine Day. So in this view, we are basically trying to create awareness regarding spine health. So most commonly patients come to us with spine problems and they always ask a similar question that I have a back pain. Today we will be speaking about how to take care of back and how to maintain a posture. Most commonly people have a misconception when people keep advising others, stating that you have to keep your spine straight. But it's not possible to keep the spine straight when they do not understand how to keep the spine straight. Basically this is a spine and it has got a small curvature. It's got a lumbar lordosis, there's a dorsal kyphosis and a cervical lordosis. And this is the main pillar of our body. It transmits all the weight. So keeping the spine straight is trying to keep the foundation straight. What do you mean by the foundation? The foundation is made by the pelvis and the sacrum. It is the foundation of the bone. So if we are able to keep this straight, the whole of the spine will be straight. So we talk something about the pelvic tilt. When someone is sitting straight, so in a stooping position, it's basically the pelvic tilt. That means the angle between the leg and the pelvis that is slightly tilted. When it is tilted, the whole of the spine gets bent. So this is the bending, stooping position that people often assume. So if you are able to keep the spine straight by keeping this at a 90-degree angle, the leg and that of the pelvis, this is called pelvic tilt, and keep it straight, the whole of the spine will be straight. This will be demonstrated by our physiotherapist, Mr. Joymul. He will teach you how to keep our posture straight in standing position. During standing, when we are looking at some phone or doing some activity, we end up in this kind of a position where our neck is bent, our shoulders are bent, our back is bent. This causes a lot of strain on our back. So first, how to keep it straight. First, what we do is keep our pelvic tilt straight by tucking in our stomach. Yes. And then what we do is get the things that we are looking at to our eye level. And then try to square our shoulders, and this gives us a straight posture, working posture, so that our spine doesn't get strained and it's in a relaxed position. Now we will talk about how to keep our spine healthy by doing some regular routine exercises. Now we will be learning about how to do our core strengthening exercises. We will be teaching some of the simple exercises that you can start your day with. The first simple exercise is, while you're lying down, you can lift your legs. It's called a straight leg raise. So you lift your leg approximately 10 to 20 degrees from the bed when you're lying down. When your head should be on the ground, it should not lift up. Your hand should be relaxed. Only your leg should be coming up. Then you'll feel your stomach getting tight. This position you keep it for 10 seconds. The second exercise will be called a pelvic bridge exercise. Here we get our knees folded, both the knees folded, so that it's nicely triangulated, and then we'll lift our hip and pelvis up so that it's in a straight line. This is called a pelvic bridging, and you should hold this position for 10 seconds. Then we extend this exercise by making it more difficult. We will do the pelvic bridge and then lift one leg up and keep it straight at the same level of the other leg, and hold this position for 10 seconds. You relax and come back to the same position, and you do the same to the opposite leg. The pelvis, the leg should be in same line. The third exercise that we are going to do is called a pelvic squeeze exercise. When you're in a lying position, you take one of your hands and keep below your hip, and then you have to press it down hard as much as possible, and keep pressing for 10 to 20 seconds. This is called a pelvic squeeze that strengthens your core muscles that is around the sacrum. The third exercise, a pelvic twist. This is basically a stretch of your pelvis. This is how we do. Bend your knees. That strengthens your core muscles that is around the sacrum. The third exercise, a pelvic twist. This is basically a stretch of your pelvis. This is how we do. Bend your knees and twist your pelvis to one side. Your head and the shoulder should be grounded, it should not lift up, and go as much, your leg should almost touch the ground on the other side. You keep this position for 10 to 20 seconds and do on the opposite side, vice versa. Now we teach you how to do a Superman core strengthening exercise. This is called a Superman exercise. Here we bend our knees and come to a crawling position, and then we lift our right leg up and our left arm straight. Your right arm and your left leg placed on the ground. You have to keep your shoulder, hip and your leg in a straight line. You hold this position for 10 to 20 seconds and then relax. And you do the same to the opposite side. Your left arm up, the right leg up. We will show you something called a cat and camel exercise. So you are in the same position, your hips are like this, and then we do something called a cat, where you lift your neck up and then your stomach goes down and you hold it for a few seconds, and then you tuck in your stomach, bend your neck down and lift your hip. This is like a camel, and you should stretch your spine as much as possible. You can feel a stretch on your back. This should be done in exhalation, and your cat position is done in inhalation. Now again you go to a cat position by inhaling, then again back to your camel position when you're exhaling. The other exercise is called a plank. This is a tough one, where you'll have to keep your body on your elbows and then lift your back and leg into straight line. You should keep this position for 10 to 20 seconds. Now we will do some leg stretches. One is the toe stretch, where you bend your toes up and keep it for a few seconds. Hamstring stretch, where you raise your leg and stretch as much as possible. Make it as straight as possible. Gluteus stretch, you bend your knee and keep it on the other one and then flex it. This is do the other side. Cross your leg and bend your hips. Stretch your neck to both the sides and keep it for a few seconds. Forward, slightly slanted, forward to the left. Similarly, when we tell someone to keep the neck straight or keep it upright, what happens? This is what we try to do. But unfortunately, this will again tire your neck because your base of the spine is not correct. So for this, you have to basically correct the shoulders and square it. So when the shoulder gets squared, the neck automatically comes into a proper straight posture. We just learned how to keep our spine straight when in a sitting posture. Now we will teach you how to stretch your arms. This is called a arm raised exercise, where you raise your arms above your head and stretch it as much as possible. This will work on your anti-gravity muscles and stretch your neck and shoulders. Second would be something called shoulder bracing exercise, where you take your shoulders behind as much as possible. This works on your rhomboids. These are the muscles that get stretched when you are doing your desk job and causes pain. So anyone who has got back pain or shoulder pain will benefit from this. You have to keep this position for 10 to 20 seconds. So friends, today we have learned a few of our spine care, how to take care of our spine. One is how to keep your posture right. The second is how to use your spine during your daily activity. The third would be how to work out your spine. The fourth would be how to stretch your spine and keep it supple. Thank you.